about Scarlet. I finished it last night. Before the power went out. Yeah. Before I lost power again. We've been without power for quite some time this weekend. A lot of snow, a lot of issues with our hydro. You can't tell, but it's a Harry Potter mug. It's been faded because I accidentally kept putting it in my dishwasher. Still, not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about Scarlet. It took me 5 days to read. That's 3 days more than Cinder, which was not expected. I expected it to read it quite quickly, considering a lot of people said it was better than Cinder. I actually don't agree with those people. I agree that it was quite good. I just don't agree that it was as good as Cinder. I definitely don't agree that it was better than Cinder. I thought there was parts where it was quite boring, actually, especially the end. The last 100 pages, they could be just chopped out and rewritten in probably two pages. I enjoyed it, yeah, sure. I enjoyed Scarlet, yeah. Not as much as Cinder. Do I recommend it to people? Yeah, sure. I recommend Cinder, and then I recommend you continuing on with the story, because it's nice to know what happens to Cinder. I'm not sure if I like Scarlet. Not sure if I like her. I love Cinder. Cinder is one of my favorite characters. I do like Cinder because she's having this natural reaction to everything. I'm not sure if I like Scarlet. I don't know. I guess I'll have to wait and see in Crest when I read it next month. It's not sweet enough. This was actually where my tree was. Yeah, my tree was here until Saturday when I took everything down. And because of the power outage, my couches are covered in blankets and they're a mess. And I don't intend to put them away yet because I don't know if I'm going to lose power again. But still, not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about Scarlet some more. When we start Scarlet, we're not reintroduced to Cinder right away. We're still put in the dark for the first chapter at least. Scarlet is a girl who lives in Paris. This is my cat. This is Beast. Say hi, Beast. She doesn't like to be up very much. She's not a very cuddly cat. Ow. As you can see. Not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about Scarlet. Scarlet lives on a farm with her grandmother, who, as we find out very quickly in the beginning of the story, is missing and has been for the past 2 or 3 weeks. I can't quite remember. That's not a spoiler. This is common knowledge right at the beginning of the story that she's missing. So Cinder has been left to take care of the farm for 3 weeks. Her grandmother's gone missing. The cops, as per usual, are doing nothing for her. So Scarlet meets this guy at a tavern when she's doing deliveries. A guy named Wolf. Really, a character in a Red Riding Hood retelling is named Wolf. So we have Granny, we have Scarlet, Red Riding Hood, and now we have our Wolf. At the beginning of the book, Wolf is a good guy. And I like him at the beginning of the story. I guess I could say I like him throughout the entire story. Sure, he gives us the whole Prince from Frozen type feel in the middle. He's okay. He's okay. Kind of reminds me of 4, actually. Like the way, oops. Like the way that he talks to Scarlet. It's kind of like the same way 4 talks to Triss. Which is what I'm reading right now. I'm reading Allegiant. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about Scarlet. After the first chapter, where we introduced to Cinder, but Marissa Meyer does it in the most confusing way possible by talking about a character that we don't know about. Thorn, Captain Thorn. I don't like how she does this, actually. I got really confused really quickly in that second chapter when we're introduced to Thorn. I had to go back and read it and be like, who's Thorn? Like, why are we talking about Thorn right now? Actually, I had to do that a lot in this book. I guess that's, I don't know if it was because where the power was constantly going out and it was really cold, but I found that I quickly got confused with everything happening, that I would have to go back and just skim over and realize, what happened again? And I don't usually like that when I have to do that in a book, because it gets confusing. And it did tend to get confusing because it wasn't like going back and forth like Scarlet, Cinder, Scarlet, Cinder. There'd be like Scarlet, Cinder, Scarlet, Scarlet, Cinder, Scarlet, Cinder, Cinder, Scarlet. Like there's no form, and there was no way to know what the chapter was going to be about until you read the first sentence. Like in Allegiant, it goes chapter 1, Triss, chapter 2, Tobias. But in this one, nothing. And it didn't really make sense. Like you couldn't get a handle on it until the very end when they were together. Now that's a spoiler. That's a spoiler right there. Yes, Scarlet and Cinder got together, and I did enjoy their interaction, actually. The whole argument about Scarlet, between Scarlet and Cinder, about Cinder being Princess Selene. I did like that interaction, I must say. I did enjoy that. Their whole argument about how Scarlet is wondering, like, why isn't she doing anything? She has the power to stop all this, and not just because Prince Kai is in love with her and that she's powerful, but she's Princess Selene. All she has to do is come out and say, hey, I'm actually the ruler of Luna. You, Queen, whatever your name is, because I can't remember it, can go suck it. This video is going to take just as long to make as it did to read the book. I'm going to have fun editing this. You staying on? Yeah? Okay. There's a little box around my eye. And that was a cat that scared the shit out of me. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about Scarlet. Back to Scarlet. Okay. So Scarlet wanted Cinder to like do something because she knew that she had the power to do it, and then Cinder's all like, I understand Cinder's response. Like, imagine just finding out that you're this ruler that people have been searching years for. Pretty much a conspiracy theory she was. And she's been illegally living down here on Earth since she was 3, because her aunt, who wanted to be ruler, tried to kill her, and Scarlet is just expecting her to come out and say, hi, how's it going? I'm Princess Selene. It's nice to meet you. I'm the new ruler of Lunar. Because I'm alive. How is she supposed to do that? She found out a week ago. Which means that her grandmother, Scarlet's grandmother, was technically missing during Cinder. That's interesting to think about. I like the whole timeline, like twisty aroundy thingy. It's one of my favorite things about Saw movies is that all of the movies, for the most part, were all happening at the same time. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Scarlet. So yes, I did enjoy that. I still don't like Thorn. He's annoying. And I feel like people would ship him with Cinder, which I don't want to happen. I feel like he's going to end up being a love interest between one of the characters. But I don't like him. I don't like him at all. He's actually quite annoying. He thinks he's all charming. He thinks he's funny, and then he wonders why Cinder didn't tell him. The Lunar Chronicles are very multicultural. We have New Beijing, Eastern Commonwealth, which is technically Asia. Then we have Rue and Paris, which is part of Europe. And then we have Thorn, who's part of the American army, I believe, because the ship is American, right? Am I understanding that correctly? I'm almost finished actually talking about Scarlet. I rated Scarlet 4 out of 5 stars. I gave Cinder 5 out of 5 stars, but it took me just over a day to read it. Scarlet took me over 5, and it was really dragged out and confusing at times. I'm sure I have an unpopular opinion. Everybody on BookTube seems to be raving about Scarlet, saying, oh, it's better than Cinder, it's better than Cinder. I have to disagree. I don't think it was better than Cinder. I thought Cinder was an impeccable book, and Scarlet just lacked the luster that Cinder had. And I'm hoping for the best with Cress. I don't expect Cress to be as good as Cinder. But I do hope that Cress would be just as good as Scarlet, if not better. Hopefully not as dragged out. Hopefully not as confusing, considering there's going to be 3 characters now. But at least Scarlet and Cinder are together, so it'll be Cress, Scarlet, and Cinder. Somebody said that Cress was introduced in Scarlet. We got a glimpse of her. Who is she? I am looking forward to Cress. I'm looking forward to reading it. The way Scarlet ended, I didn't exactly need Cress right away. Like, a lot of people have been waiting for Cress for quite a long time. And I'd be okay with waiting for it, but I do intend. This is 13. She's a bit more cuddly. I do intend to read Cress next month when it comes out. I'm not sure exactly what date it comes out, but when it comes out, I do intend on getting it and reading it. So that's a little glimpse into my TBR for next month. I think that's all I have to talk about right now. I think I'm gonna go now. Bye. Maybe I'll make a sandwich.